The software won't let me use the camera, so I got to figure it out. But I just figured I'd start anyway. I don't know what the hell going on, but we gonna do it on this Friday at any way we got to do it. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Happy Friday. We made it. I don't know what the heck is going on, if StreamYard is doing some type of update, but it will not allow me to use the camera. It keeps giving me something saying the camera can't be used right now. Whatever, y'all. So we're gonna have to deal with it, and I have to figure it out when I get off again and see. Hopefully they get back to going, but it's annoying, but you know how it is. Technology is technology. Anyway, got a crazy show. Diddy is trying to get a professional witness or whatever you want to call her, trying to get her removed, and she's pretty famous. And if she is able to testify, that will probably put Diddy behind bars for a long time because she has a history. Matter of fact, she is known for putting the final nail in the coffin on R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, and a whole bunch of other people. She was also a star witness in the Depp Amber Heard trial. Johnny Depp, a lot of people know about that. It was they got divorced and it was a defamation. Just a crazy situation all the way around. We're gonna dive all the way deep into that. Mostly, that's what we mostly talking about today. Is this is a serious situation. Diddy and his camp want this young lady removed so bad. She's a psychologist, and she is an expert in coercion and manipulating a lot of domestic situations. And her testimony is so damning that Diddy and his attorneys are going the fuck off and trying to do everything to have her removed from the case. They filed a motion, and the judge has until May 5th to see if they're going to let her name is Dr. Hughes. Dr. Dawn, was it Dr. Dawn Hughes? And we're going to get into it, y'all. So, but before, I have a question. Y'all know we're going to get into that. Y'all know I'm into animals and nature. And out here, I get to see all like different little animals. And I often go on the porch and just collect my thoughts and do a few different things on the porch. And I'm always watching the chickens. And yesterday I was looking at the chickens, and y'all, I got a lot of like farming experts and a lot of wildlife experts that listen to this show. I need y'all to help me out on something. I swear I just saw yesterday. I was watching it. I always watch. It's like always like the female chickens. And if I get some terminology wrong, excuse me. I ain't an animal expert. I just love animals, and I love watching them and just observing them because they're just funny. It's like they like little humans. They just don't talk our language. But so I'm watching the chickens, and so I always used to see, like, I see the males, and it's like I told you. I think I talked about it before on the show. I said, when I'm watching them, the males are just standing there, and they look like the females, and like they be getting food and taking care of the little chicks and stuff like that. But then, like, all of a sudden, I'll always see like one of the male chickens kind of just go after one of the chickens, and then like they be chasing them around, and I'm thinking they fighting and stuff. And it's like I never see what happens after the chase because they always end up in the bushes or just somewhere I don't see. But yesterday, they were in the middle of the parking lot, and this one chicken started following and chasing this one chicken around, and the chicken was running. I'm like, oh, they about to fight. And then the male chicken looked like he jumped on the back of the chicken, and then for 3 seconds, I swear it looked like they were having sex. I'm like, wait a minute. So maybe they not fighting. Maybe this is how chickens have sex, but it's like so fast, like a rabbit. And I'm like, two things went in my mind. I'm like, if that's sex, damn, chickens just take it, huh? So that's like, chickens is like little Diddy's, or allegedly. I don't know. But I was like, I don't want to chat GPT it. I don't want to Google it. I just want to ask my community. I want a human answer. Is this how chickens have sex? Is that what they do? Do they just have quick sex that's like 3 seconds and like they just choose periodic moments to do it? Because I swear that didn't look like no fighting to me, especially when they both facing the same way. And so I was like, you know what? I gotta ask my people on the show in the morning about that, because if I just seen chickens fuck, I want to know, because that shit was crazy. I'm waiting for a fight, and I'm like, this don't look like no fight. I'm like, this look like fucking. I'm like, but I don't know. I ain't grow up around chickens and stuff like that. So y'all let me know. Is that chickens? Is that how they fight? What did I see? Because I know people who know about wildlife and know about animals know exactly whatever I saw, because it was the male chicken always standing about 10 feet away from the little crew. And it's like, I'm looking at him, and it's just like he looked like it was probably about 5 chickens over there, like to the right of him. And it was like all of a sudden he just kind of looked at one and just zeroed that one out and was going after that one, and all of them started running. But then he just focused on that one, and they running all under cars and everything. And when that male, that rooster, whatever you call him, when he finally caught him, I'm like, oh shoot, he about to. And then I'm like, hold on, that's not fighting. And then it was like he jumped on the back of her, and then he pumped for 2 or 3 seconds, and then left, and then got up off of her. And then she that chicken just kind of stayed there for a second. And then he kind of walked away with his little strut. And I was like, I didn't want to see that. If I knew that's what they were doing, I would have been minding my business. I was trying to see a fight. But anyway, so all y'all chicken experts or farm experts, would y'all let me know what the hell I saw? Because I watch these chickens every day. And I do see that every time I look around, they're raising kids. It's 10 chicklets running around, and the female is the one that does all the work from what I'm seeing. The female feeds, the female makes sure they all walking in line, the female take care of them, and the male just stands off to the side doing his little every now and then. And then every now and then he'll just put his eye on one and chase it. And I don't know what happens after that, but I think it's fucking. So let me know, y'all. I had to bring that to y'all. Some things you don't even want to Google. You don't want to chat GPT. You just want to ask a human. Sometimes you just want to hear a human answer. I didn't want to even chat GPT that. I didn't know how to describe it anyway. So anyway, let me know, y'all. I always provide y'all with the info, so y'all need to help me out on this one. Did I just see chickens fuck, or was that something else? Please let me know. And we're going to get to this Diddy. I don't like segueing from chickens fucking to talking about Diddy, but this is the Flow Show, no filter. It is what it is. But let's get into this. So, what the hell is it going on? Well, I'm gonna tell you what's going on, and then of course, I'm gonna give y'all some background. And anybody that's joining us, Facebook family, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all y'all welcome. Shout out to all my drivers, Uber drivers, Door Dashers that listen to the show. I got so many of them that listen to the show. I've been trying to extend the time on these shows because so many people work. And I know how it is when you're working and you're using podcasts to help pass the time. And so I try to give y'all as much content as I can. because I'm a podcast lover. So the podcasts I listen to, I like when they give me some extra time on there because, we need our podcast to help us get through stuff sometimes. So shout out to y'all. If you're walking your dog, keep your head on the swivel, scoop the poop. And if you're driving, make sure you got your seatbelt on and your ears on me and your eyes on the road. We about to get into it. So, and if you want to join us in our live studio audience, shout out to the Breakfast Crew. Join us live on YouTube at 7:30. Other than that, 7:30 a.m. Other than that, you can get it on Apple, Spotify, and all the rest of them. Let go. Let's get into this article talking about what's going on with Mohawk Diddy. When I call him Mohawk Diddy, we in for it. It's a good one when the Mohawkster comes out. So this is from Sports Kita. AllHipHop.com also covered this, but Sports Kita is a little bit smaller, and I like using some of the smaller publications because they don't have nobody to answer to for the most part, and they can really give you real detailed analysis. And so I'm going to use their article, but I'm going to also give credit to All Hip Hop because I believe they broke the story. So what's going on now? Diddy's team urges judges to reject prosecutors' psychologist's testimony as she had testified in Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard's trial. Now, she's pretty famous. She's known for taking down people left and right. And there's a reason why Diddy is terrified. And we're going to break all that down today on this happy Friday. TGIF, y'all. We done made it to another one. Congratulations to all my hard workers out there. This is a hard working community. Y'all know I'm pumping out content left and right, and y'all getting them dollars, working them hours, and we got a nice partnership. I love it. So Diddy's team urges judge to reject prosecutor's psychologist. Who is this psychologist? She was famous for testifying in the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard's trial. I'm gonna give you a little analysis on that, or a little breakdown of that. If you don't know, a lot of people know about that trial. It was pretty popular. Anyway, a new motion filed by Diddy's legal team in federal court urges the judge overseeing his trial to block the testimony of Dr. Don Hughes, a forensic clinical psychologist. Hughes is the same psychologist who testified on behalf of Amber Heard in the 2022 Heard versus Depp trial. Now, I'll give you we're going to go back to that trial for those who wasn't aware, but let's continue on. According to All Hip Hop, exclusive Diddy's 25-page filing states that Hughes plans to speak broadly about coercive control, a term frequently used by prosecutors in cases of domestic abuse and trafficking. Hughes is expected to outline the patterns of behaviors allegedly employed by abusers to dominate their victims. So her expertise is literally what Diddy is charged for. She is a quote unquote expert in examining patterns of behaviors and abuse and how they dominate their victims. As you can see, it doesn't take long for you to realize, oh, I see why Diddy don't want this person involved. Now, the rapper's motion claims that Hughes is entering the courtroom with no knowledge of the actual facts in this case. And continues, Hughes has apparently not interviewed the alleged victims at all, much less engaged in the sort of psychological diagnostics that her profession demands. As a result, she offers only opinions that can explain the accuser's behavior, even though she has made no effort to exclude alternate explanations. Alex Shapiro, Diddy's attorney, believes that the psychologist is building a narrative rather than providing expert analysis. According to his legal team, Hughes is a professional witness who repeatedly presents the same arguments in trial after trial, accusing the government of intending to use her expert testimony improperly, Shapiro said. Went on to say the government wants an expert so that it can waive her testimony in summation like a magic wand to cure the glaring defects in the fact witness credibility. This will be a continuing refrain, as Dr. Hughes told you, as Dr. Hughes explained, and it will be highly effective. But this is not a proper use of expert testimony, and it will not help the jury discover the truth. They are terrified of this woman, if you can't tell in this motion. Also in this motion, as reported by allhiphop.com, Alex Shapiro argues that Dawn Hughes' testimony serves more to portray Diddy as a violent and controlling man than to rely on credible science. According to the attorney, Hughes' testimony will likely bias jurors against Combs by framing his alleged actions as part of a larger, sinister pattern before any witnesses take the stand. The attorney then details the evidence that the Bad Boy Records owner legal team has. Now, and I'm being honest, I haven't heard one good reason in this motion that this woman should not be allowed to testify. And in my humble opinion, it definitely feels like they believe they need this woman, this psychologist, they need her out of the mix because she will completely cook Diddy. That's what I'm hearing in this motion. We will continue. The evidence in this case will show, for example, that Combs financially supported his girlfriends. That does not count as coercion under the legal definition, but it would count under Hughes' definition. Suppose the evidence shows that after a fight, Combs apologized, expressed love, and bought his girlfriend a gift. That would not count as coercion under the legal definition, but it would count under Hughes' definition. Now, I'm not an expert in coercion, but this still doesn't sound like an argument to say that this lady should not be allowed to be involved in the trial. They're saying that it's a lot of talk of money, and that's not buying somebody a gift or paying for stuff. That's not going to win over no juror if they know that you whooping ass and spiking drinks and taking sex. So I don't know. Like I said, I have not been impressed with Diddy's attorneys, not one time during this. And this trial is about to be a circus. And they say Diddy's so mad about this lady being involved, he for sure want to take the stand. Can y'all imagine when Diddy takes the stand, what type of shit he gonna say? I'm telling y'all now, he gonna say some crazy shit when he get on the stand. And remember, I said it first. When he go in there, it's probably gonna be one of the craziest, strangest, most known testimonies ever. Because I already can tell the way he is being a puppet master behind his attorneys. He gonna go up on that stand. Diddy gonna say what he gonna turn into a Mohawk Diddy for sure on that stand. I'm gonna leave it like that. So let's keep going. Their claim is that the prosecution intends to establish a generalized pattern. According to All Hip Hop, the new motion also alleges that the prosecution is merely using its psychologist as an indirect way to imply Diddy's guilt. By doing this, they hope that when more testimonies are delivered, the jurors will connect the dots themselves. So let's go into the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp of what went on. In addition to the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp trial, Don Hughes has also testified for the prosecution in other high-profile cases, including the sexual assault trials of Danny Masterson. Y'all remember that? I'm sure my true crime family and friends out there remember the Danny Masterson case, and also Harvey Weinstein. She has what we say rocked them all. And Diddy and his team is trying to do whatever the hell they can do to get this lady up out of there. They are pissed. And like I said, the judge has up until the trial time to decide if they want to let her go or not. Let her go forward with the trial, or if they want to say she won't be admitted. But for further context, let me go into another situation and break that down, and this will show y'all why Diddy and his team is scared than a motherfucker of Dr. Dawn Hughes. She's like the closer. She's like, and when it comes to sexual assault type cases and coercion, she like the relief pitcher. Any sports fans, any baseball fans out there, she like to put relief pitcher, or she's like the like I said, the closer. She comes in and closes the deal, and she's pretty good at what she does. Let me give you an example. She cooked R. Kelly, threw his ass in the crock pot. Let's break it down. Here go article from Channel 12. Prosecutors call final witness in R. Kelly's trial. Check this out. This was R. Kelly trial. This was she was a final witness. Prosecutors inch closer on Friday to conclude. This is an old article for y'all, but this will break down what she did to R. Kelly. Their case, they broke down concluding their cases of R. Kelly's sexual trafficking trial, calling two final witnesses to try to further cement allegations he groomed young victims for unwanted sex in episodes dating back to the 90s. One witness was a former assistant for the R&B singer who echoed testimony of other ex-employees describing his behavior and control he exerted on everyone around him. But guess who the other witness was? The other witness was Miss Dawn. Check this out. The other was an expert witness on abusive relationships who is to return to the witness stand for cross-examination on Monday before the government rests. The expert psychologist Dawn Hughes testified about the studies showing that many abusers systematically isolate, demean, subjugate, and spy on their victims as means of control. All tactics allegedly used by Kelly. Generally speaking, it isn't unusual for powerful people like Kelly to be surrounded by underlings who knew about it and didn't do anything about it, Hughes went on to say. Prosecutors played recordings for the jury. And And Hughes went on to testify and was one of the reasons why R. Kelly is rotting right now, rotting in the jail. She had a lot of now this person has come with a lot of backlash. She has faced a lot of backlash. And when we're talking about Dr. Hughes. And one particular controversy, as we break down who is this Miss Dawn Hughes. See, when she another big trial was the Johnny Depp. We talked about the Johnny Depp trial and Amber Heard, right? Well, she actually represented for Johnny Depp, which pissed a lot of people off. Because in that situation, Amber Heard was claiming similar things to like Cassie and other victims, to the point where they put up a GoFundMe to have Dawn Hughes removed and held accountable. It was crazy. So it says Web from NBC News, WebMD profile of Amber Heard expert witness flooded with negative reviews during the trial. As Dawn Hughes was on the stand, a profile with her name was hit with a barrage of negative reviews, which have since been removed. Dawn Hughes, who was called to the stand by Heard's legal team, testified that she diagnosed Heard with post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of what she described as intimate partner violence experienced during relationships with Depp. As Hughes was on the stand, with her name and practice information was hit with a barrage of negative reviews. WebMD did not immediately respond, but in many reviews, commenters accused Hughes of being biased against men in cases of domestic abuse, calling her sexist and unprofessional. Bad energy, vicious, and hates man. This review was created by a woman, one review read. A majority of review writers appeared to take issue with Hughes' use of female pronouns when she described victims of abuse, noting that men can also be victims of intimate partner violence. Doesn't believe men can be victims of abuse? Question mark. Another review said, extreme bias. Guess she'll discredit victims just for money. Some reviews included a derogatory and profane term used to degenerate women. There were no reviews on the profile before she testified. All of these reviews were after she was involved in this Johnny Depp trial. Hughes was the first witness to be called in Heard's defense, which began after Johnny Depp's legal team finished presenting its evidence Tuesday. She told the court that she also conducted supplemental interviews and forensic testing and consulted medical records while she was diagnosing Heard. Hughes testified that in her diagnosis of Heard, she determined the allegations of emotional and physical abuse Heard reported to be legitimate. She described what she called coercive abuse exhibited by Depp, trying to control Heard's clothing or career choices as an example. The basis of the opinion was looking at all the dynamics in this relationship, looking at not just the hitting and the yelling, but looking at how much more pitting was done. Hughes said, looking at the coercive control, the abusive jealousy, the possessiveness, the sexual violence, the choking behavior, the threats to kill, Those are all, as I stated, very significant and often found in cases of lethal domestic violence. And just to correct something, as I went into, I said she represented for Johnny Depp. I meant she was representing in the the Johnny Depp trial. Just to correct. But as you hear this information, as you see what type of time she on, as the young folks say these days, what type of time you on, as you see what she is about, you can see why Diddy and his attorneys are like, we need to get her the fuck out of this trial expeditiously. Because everything she's describing in all of these different articles, everything I've looked up, y'all know how I do. Once I saw that the defense was going so hard to get rid of her, I looked up all her cases. I dug into what she did in the involvement of the R. Kelly case. I looked in, she is a big dog in the Harvey Weinstein case. She came with all kind of damaging info in the Johnny Depp case. And so much so, they tried to cancel her. But she's still kicking, and she's still ready to testify in the trial of the century with Mohawk Diddy, a.k.a. Sean Combs. Now, the basis of the opinion was looking at all the dynamics in the relationship. She looks at the hitting, the yelling, and everything. Now, Shannon Curry, a clinical psychologist presented as an expert witness by Johnny Depp's legal team, previously rejected the idea that Heard had PTSD. Curry diagnosed Heard with borderline personality disorder, and which Hughes disagreed with. Now, what was going on? Depp was suing Heard for $50 million in damages. It was basically a defamation trial. In 2016, Heard filed for a protective order against Depp, alleging he threw a phone at her, leaving her bruised. She wrote in a sworn declaration to the court that she was living in fear that Johnny will return to their house unannounced to terrorize her physically and emotionally. Depp denied all the allegations, telling that he's never struck a woman in his life. A lot of social media users backed Johnny Depp's case, saying justice for Johnny Depp. But then there also were people on Amber's side. So I needed to give y'all that so y'all could get a little idea of exactly who this Dr. Dawn Hughes is and why does Diddy want Diddy and his legal team want her gone so bad? Well, I think after reading and checking out these articles, I think y'all see why Diddy want Miss Dawn Hughes up out of here. Like I said, she was the last witness. They saved her for last in the R. Kelly trial. And when she testified, a lot of people say that was the nail in the coffin. And I'm sure Diddy looking at that like, you know what? I ain't got no time for this. I can't deal with her. So what do? They trying to get her removed. They're trying to file a motion for her to get removed, and the prosecution is like, nah. So we will see. But this is a huge development. This is not only bad for Diddy, but this is bad for anybody engaging in this Diddy type of behavior. Because unlike the Johnny Depp trial, you know, a lot of people, for whatever reason, were on Johnny Depp's side. You know, a lot of people, you know, he had a good name as far as, you know, his fans, many fans. And so Dr. Hughes had to deal with a lot. But see, on this case, this particular case is different. Ain't nobody backing up Diddy. Ain't nobody gonna be destroying this woman's name or harass or too much harassing her. I mean, she might get some minor harassment from all the little Mohawk Diddies out there running around, same ones that be in my comments, wanting attention. You know, you can't get rid of them little Mohawk Diddies like roaches. You get rid of one, here come 50 more. And you don't want none of them. So she's gonna have backing in this case. And from what she breaks down, can you imagine, just from that little context? I didn't want to make this a 3-hour episode, so I just wanted to give you a little context. But if you look her up, she knows her shit. And it's almost like this trial is made for her. This is like the trial that, you know, with the Diddy and with all the coercion that's going on with the Cassie and the girlfriends, she is tailor-made to put Diddy in hot water. And I totally see why the defense and why Diddy and anybody on his team is trying to do everything in their power to get her up out of here. Ask Harvey Weinstein about her. Ask R. Kelly about her. This is something that when I started looking it up, because I was like, why? See, when I first saw it, I said, why are they going so hard? Because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know her name. I didn't remember. I remember those trials, but I don't remember her. You know, I wasn't really focused on the psychologist in those trials. But when I read the article, I said to myself, why? I wonder why they going so hard. Why are they going so hard to remove this psychologist? I said, she must be good at what she do. And then that's when I started looking it up. And then I saw what she did to R. Kelly, or I don't want to say what she did to R. Kelly. R. Kelly did that to herself, but her testimony and her resume, she literally studies this shit, this coercion and different creative ways to manipulate your partner. She studies that shit. So can you imagine how she gonna break down Diddy's mess? When I went into R. Kelly's case, even Harvey Weinstein case, even Johnny Depp case, I looked at what was going on, and I haven't seen nowhere near as much stuff as I've heard and saw dealing with this Diddy trial, going back all the way to the 90s up until now. It's like, that's like giving a chef, taking a chef, giving him, going to the grocery store and saying you could pick out whatever you want to make your best dish. They're going to kill that shit. It's too much to choose from. Too much of a variety. You give that chef the whole grocery store and say, go ahead and pick out whatever groceries you need to make the best meal that you can make. Oh, a chef gonna kill that. Chef gonna make something that's gonna make you want to smack your mama. And I don't know if y'all saw that movie, but it's an old school movie. And the commercial was it was about food, and then so the commercial would go, they would eat the food, he would be with his mom, and he'd taste the food, and he would say, I can't remember the movie, but I remember this scene, and we used to always talk about it. It'd be like he'd take a big bite out of food, he'd be like, food so good, make you want to smack your mama, and then he smacked the mama. And that's just a funny ass scene. I always look at that scene like, shit, my mom, you be dead. But anyway, I look at that, I'm always comparing shit. I look at her coming to the Diddy trial as like a chef going to the grocery store, because the way she break down coercion and manipulation and domestic abuse and all of it in between, and then you gonna put her smack dab in the middle of the freakiest man alive, Mr. Freak Off himself, Mr. Wild King Nights, Mr. Hang You Over a Balcony. Y'all, I don't know if it's enough years left on earth to give Diddy if they let her get up on the stand and break that down. So, like I said, when I started looking into it, I said, oh, this why they trying to get rid of Miss Dr. Hughes. This Dr. Hughes is like a big part of this case. And Diddy don't like it. And neither does his legal team. Highlighting the R. Kelly thing. The other Harvey Weinstein, they were doing when they did his retrial. Guess who they reached out for? Dr. Hughes. They said Dr. Hughes, Harvey Weinstein, they trying to do a redo. We need you to come over here and break down how these freaky, perverted men, how they get down. And she did her thing. I'm only kind of confused as why I've never known about her, or I never heard about her before. I never heard people really talking about her, and she's been in so many of the huge cases that we've looked into, that we've talked about. I just never heard this lady's name. But I think unless the judge doesn't allow her, which I don't see that happening. I'm being straight honest. I don't see any grounds for the Mr. Baby Oil Bandit for sure. I don't see any grounds for letting them, for taking her out, for saying that she doesn't, she shouldn't be involved in this case, or whatever the case may be. She knows her shit. She definitely knows her shit. So, give you an example. When they had the jury chosen for Harvey Weinstein for his retrial. This is ABC, courtesy of ABC News. Recent article. Harvey Weinstein retrial will include testimony from trauma psychologists. Y'all know who the trauma psychologist is. We've been talking about her the whole show. This is new or recent. The jury chosen for Harvey Weinstein's retrial on sexual assault charges in New York City will hear testimony from Dawn Hughes. I'm telling y'all, Dawn Hughes is like the Serena Williams of these cases. She is the top dog. a psychologist with expertise in traumatic stress and domestic violence. Judge Curtis Farber granted a request from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office to call Hughes, who previously testified in the Amber Heard. We talked about that, the Amber Heard case. Hughes is expected to testify about rape trauma and survivor responses in order to dispel myths about rape, including those related to the victim responses to being raped by an acquaintance, a victim's immediate reactions to being raped, and a victim's delayed disclosure of the rape. Like I said, she this is her wheelhouse right here. Farber also granted a prosecution request to keep testimony or argument about Weinstein's health out of the trial. Weinstein, 72, has been diagnosed with cancer and has sued over the conditions of his confinement. The judge discussed other requests outside the presence of the public. He's still considering whether to allow testimony from a defense memory expert. But like I said, this actually, the jury selection, just so you know, jury selection for the Harvey Weinstein retrial actually begins on April 15th. Put that on your calendar if you've been watching the Harvey Weinstein freaky, toxic, trifling case. But it's going down. And so when Diddy and his comrades saw that Dr. Hughes was involved, they got to filing all motions left and right. We got to get her out of here. So if you didn't know about Dr. Hughes, you know about her now. And from everything I've saw from both arguments, I don't see any reason, any good reason that the judge will have her removed. But we shall see. I'll be highly I won't know what I'll be very shocked if the judge removes her from this case. So let's continue to look into that and keep up with that. Like I said, it is getting crazier and crazier the closer we get to this trial. And I think even Diddy's attorneys know if they let Dr. Dawn Hughes, testify, much like she did in the R. Kelly case, much like she's about to do in the retrial of Harvey Weinstein. They know if they let her get on that stand, Diddy ass is cooked. So Diddy is screaming. Diddy like, look, I want to take the stand. So he's saying if and this is what sources are saying, if she's involved, he is definitely taking the stand. Why? Because he knows she knows her shit. And in a trial like this, you get her up on that stand, breaking it down, all the coercion tactics, what it means, why people don't say something immediately, how someone can be. See, one thing that that the defense, if you've been noticing, one thing they try to throw out there, and let's focus on Cassie for a second. Matter of fact, one thing about it is they're trying to hang on the fact that Cassie was in what did they say, 10-year long relationship with Diddy or his other girlfriends, because all victims, it hasn't been confirmed, but we know Cassie was a girlfriend. And we know pretty much they're saying that the rumor is all 3 victims are girlfriends. And so the defense, especially when it comes to Cassie, they have been trying to throw out there, like saying, how could this be coercion? They were actually in a relationship. These were his girlfriends, yada, 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 blase ski. That's some Cleveland shit, blase ski. I don't know if y'all know what that means. That's just yada, yada, yada. But Dr. Hughes is an expert in breaking down how and why people involved in domestic violence, domestic abuse, coercion, why they have a delay and why there's a lot of times a delay in them coming forward. See, I don't know if anybody can break that down as good as she can, because this is, like I said, this is what she does. This is what she studies. And so the defense, knowing that the fact that they had a 10-year relationship or these were girlfriends, the fact that they're trying to use that as a big part of the defense, saying that Diddy can't be guilty. They also know Dr. Dawn Hughes can rip that argument to shreds with pure facts and data and stats and all type of other shit that if you Diddy, you ain't trying to hear. So as we get closer to this trial, realize it's heating up. Like I told y'all. Remember, I was telling y'all I was trying to get confirmation on this whole situation. I was going to talk about it yesterday, but it was so fresh. I didn't have any time to look into the backstories and look into all the other stuff. So that's why I told you I had to confirm some things yesterday before I brought it. I didn't want to come on here and just tell you that they're following them like everybody else, just say, hey, they following a motion to get this psychologist removed and just kind of just tell that. And then to me, that leaves people like, yeah, but you got to tell them why it's important. What has this person done? Give me some examples. Go back in history. Tell me. See, this is what I expect. So this is why I always give it to y'all that way, because I don't like when people that covering stories, podcasts, YouTubers, where they just talk about whatever the recent update is, and then they don't give you any context of what's going on or what it means. Because unless you really break down everything she's done, people will just say, well, I wonder why they trying to have her removed so bad. Like, because that's what I said. But once you get to digging into the details and you see that she's literally been a part of sinking some of the biggest names in the industry, and I don't think none of their cases against them were as strong as this Diddy case is against him. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. I know there were a lot of evidence. There was a lot of evidence against Harvey Weinstein. There was a lot of evidence against R. Kelly and many more. But I ain't seen nothing like this Diddy case. And like I keep saying, one thing about it, one thing you learn from covering these cases, y'all, is that I don't care what you hear before the actual trial start. It's a whole new ball game. Once the trial start, you get all kind of evidence that you didn't even think about that even could exist. For all my old farts out there that's old like me, if you remember the OJ trial, it was a lot that went on before the actual trial started, and it was kind of like Diddy, where it was so much of the evidence pointed towards OJ from the media and this and that. But even once when the trial started, do y'all remember how much more evidence, how much different evidence, how many details came out? And see, that's what a lot of people I don't think realize. Especially for those that are saying like, well, they don't really have nothing on Diddy. he gonna go free. This is da 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 da. I'm like, the trial. Wait till this is just preliminary shit that they feeding us. They feeding us what they can feed us. But if you don't think text messages, surveillance footage, other witnesses who saw shit who haven't spoke now yet, they're gonna speak when the actual real trial starts. Wait till we get to hearing what witness who accounted, or if there was a witness. I don't know if there was a witness there. It was Cassie. Oh, shout out to I didn't talk about this, y'all, and I kind of missed this. I believe they're saying Cassie is pregnant and is going to have to do this whole thing while she's pregnant, which, just calling it for what it is, that's another thing that doesn't look good for Diddy, because you're going to have this pregnant woman on the stand reliving horrific, crazy drama that you put her through. She's going to be on the stand talking about this while she's pregnant. And it made me think about her because she is the only witness to the young lady who was hung off the balcony, allegedly. Now, can you imagine we in that courtroom and see when Cassie get on the stand? I'm going to give y'all a spoiler alert. Matter of fact, because y'all need to be subscribing anyway. When Cassie is on the stand, I will be in that courtroom. That is one. I told y'all I got the connection to be inside the courtroom. That is a time where I will make sure my ass is in New York. I gotta be in the courtroom when Cassie take the stand. I have to. So I'll definitely we'll be keeping an eye on that. But anyway, can you imagine when Cassie is on the stand and they're talking about victim number 2 or victim number 3, whatever one was hung over the balcony, and you got Cassie on the stand crying, talking about how Diddy came barging into the house and then hung her friend over the balcony, threatened to kill her, and now Cassie is on the stand crying and she's pregnant. And then after all of that, then you got Dr. Hughes going down, breaking all this down and what it mean and what Cassie went through. $100 years. That's what it feel like Diddy gonna get. Now, I don't know. He might not get no 100 years. But I'm saying the way things are mounting up, the witnesses and the game plan that the prosecution is coming with. Like I said, trials, this is why you have defense attorneys and why you have prosecutors. It really falls down to who does their shit right or who on top of their shit. And so far, it's just me. Like I said, y'all know I call it like I see it. If Diddy's attorneys were doing a great job or impressing me, shit, I would tell them. That ain't got nothing to do with the trial. Whether I think Diddy guilty as hell, but I was still, y'all know me, I'm gonna keep it real. If the defense team was doing a good job, they're not. They're doing a shitty job. But then I look at the prosecution. They look thorough. They look like they got a game plan. They look like they got the right people, witnesses, and the right experts, because you calling the right people when the defense team is filing motions to try to get rid of them. This defense team is so scared of Dr. Hughes, they filing a whole motion to get her removed. And I don't think it's going to work. I'm pretty certain it ain't going to work. All hell would break loose, I think, if the judge said for any reason she wouldn't be able to testify. Especially since she's been in high-profile cases that literally mirror a lot of the trifling shit that's in this case. So I thought today would be an excellent day to break down Dr. Hughes, because I believe she will be a huge part in this trial, which is why, like, when the news broke yesterday, I wanted to bring it yesterday, but it came right before I popped on, and I didn't have enough. I wasn't able to research no background, and y'all know how I do it. So that's what I told y'all yesterday. I was like, I got some Diddy news. I'm just waiting for some confirmation. Had to look up some stuff myself. And then once I got to looking it up, I was like, oh, I can't wait to come tell the community. Because I ain't seen nobody break it. I've seen a couple people talk about it, but they don't break the shit down. They just say whatever the recent news is, and they go on and they get their views and clicks, and that's cool for them. But I be wanting people to break that shit down. Let me know, not just tell me what the breaking news is, but give me the context. Give me the background. Give me what the hell happened. Why is she? Give me the, like I told y'all in our school, the who, what, when, where's, and whys. Give me those. Anyway, y'all know before we get out of here, always got to shout out the people that make this possible, the subscribers. Like I said, all y'all subscribers who already are subscribed, we are gearing up. I know y'all been wanting, always want to know what's up next for the subscribers. I've been gearing up for the Diddy trial. Y'all know I'm gonna have the best access, all access. I have a correspondent who does all these cases. He is what I call boots on the ground. He was front and center at the R. Kelly trial, front and center at all the big trials. He's my guy, my mentor, he always looked out for me back in my days of my career, and then we kind of reconnected in the media space. Good guy. And he's going to be our correspondent for the Diddy trial, but he also has granted me access. No, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, y'all such family. I don't even give y'all the like political answers. Even if I even do give you a political answer, I catch myself because I don't even want to. I want to tell y'all literally every little thing. So when I was telling him about being the correspondent or asking him, he was like, oh yeah, for sure. You know, I got you. And then I was leaving it at that. Y'all know I'm laid back. And he was like, but you know, you got to come. I was like, well, I'll come in the courtroom. And he was like, yeah, you got to come. I'm not letting you not come to the Diddy trial. So that's how I even ended up access inside, because he demanded that I come. So I was fine and happy just to have a correspondent that I know is going to be right there. And he's so old school. He takes notes. He come from the back in the day courtroom coverage. He older, so he covers shit like they did back in the OJ trial with pen and notebook and sitting right in the courtroom. And he does it at all the trials, all the big trials. So happy for that. So I say all that to say, all those who subscribed, y'all are good. But if you haven't subscribed, I'm telling you and I'm begging you to do it now before we get close to the trial, because subscription is going to be a much higher cost, because once the Diddy trials start, I'm going to be back and forth. I'm going to be giving my subscribers the exclusive, and y'all know it ain't cheap. But the people who already subscribe, your stuff won't go up. That's why I'm telling you, subscribe now, because I don't want to hear it. I've been saying this for the past, month and a half. I don't want to hear it when trial comes and people like, well, why the subscription so high? You should have got it before. I'm sorry if you a Johnny come lately, you know, the price go up because we're going to have expenses, and it ain't cheap to go to New York. Y'all know that. But I'm looking forward to it. I've been one of the major catalysts in getting this Diddy trial awareness. I tell people all the time I was covering it when people thought it was just gossip and what nothing going to happen to Diddy. I was covering it when people was like, why are you covering gossip? Because I don't cover gossip. So they were like thinking it was just a gossip story. And then one thing led to another. Then the whole world started covering it. But I love it. And I'm looking forward to bringing my subscribers and my community the #1 Diddy coverage for the trial, where jury selection starts May 5th and the actual opening arguments are slated to start May 12th. So let's shout out May 12th. Yeah, let's shout out our subscribers of the day before we get the hell out of here on this Friday. I'm feeling good. I'm not a professional. I'm just good. And subscriber of the day is Ashley. Ashley, come on down. Thank you for subscribing. Ashley did a $12 donation. Ashley, I love you. You are a sweetheart for doing that. You only have to do $3, y'all. So if the budget is a little tight, I suggest you get the $3 subscription now and not wait till the Diddy trial start because prices go up. You know how it go. So, but thank you, Ashley, so much. Everybody in the chat say thank you to Ashley for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, look in the description to support the podcast, keep truth alive, and allow me to come in here and say whatever we want to talk about and talk about whatever we want to say. You know how it go in the Flow Show, no filter. Every Monday through Friday. If you want to see us live, we at 7:30 a.m. going and kick it with the Breakfast Crew on my YouTube page. Other than that, you can watch it where the other hundreds and thousands have watched or are listening to it on the Apple and Spotify and the other podcast hosting platforms. That'll do it for today, y'all. Enjoy your weekend. Stay out of trouble. And let me know was them chickens fucking or not. As always, I love y'all, but I'm out. Boom, boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. What is up, y'all? Y'all, I don't even touch this, so I don't know what settings has changed that I have to fix for this camera. But I will figure it out. But I don't even touch my laptop, so I don't know what the hell going on with StreamYard. But another one down. Y'all know we ain't gonna never be stopped. Yeah, Amy, is that what I saw? Can you tell me, is that what I saw? Like, is that what chickens do? First of all, do they fuck like really quick like that? Because one thing I know, I don't care if it's a. All right, thanks, Mini Me. I'm gonna get that fixed, Mini Me. Thank you. Oh, Amy, you just scarred me. Yeah, it's that quick. Yeah. Oh my God, Amy. I knew that's what it was. I didn't want it to be that. I didn't want to be looking at chickens fuck. I knew that's what I saw. Damn. Thanks, Amy. I'm glad I knew Amy would be able to confirm it for me. But that's nasty. Now I need to mind my business. Those my little family. I love the chickens. I'm always out there watching them. I'm thinking they about to fight. And it's like 3 seconds, Amy. Oh my God. Yeah, shut up, Amy. Amy gonna say I can't unsee it. I sure can't. So now when they get to chasing, I'm turning my head. I'm thinking they about to fight. But one thing about it, I don't care if you a chicken, I don't care if you a roach, I don't care if you a giraffe. We all know what fucking look like. And that's why I was like, nah, that's some quick fucking. And it is like 3 seconds, Amy. Ugh. I cannot believe that. I knew that's what I saw. I knew that's what I saw. Oh my God, Amy, you just scarred me. You just scarred me for life. Now when I see them chasing, now when I see the chickens chasing, I ain't gonna be looking at what they doing. I knew that's what it was, though. I said, man, That look like some fucking to me. That don't look like no chasing, no fighting. And just like Amy, that's how I know it was what I saw, because Amy said it was 3 seconds. And it sure was 3 seconds. Them is my friends. Like those chickens is my friends. That's my other community. I love those chickens. Those chickens know me so much. I can walk close to them and they don't even move. Like they know me because I'm always outside and I'll be giving them little seeds and stuff. I love my chickens, but damn, they can't just be out there fucking in front of me. I think they normally do that in the bushes or something, because we got bushes and they be in there, and I figure that's what they be doing. But that was the first time that I saw them do it in the middle of the parking lot. That's the first time. I never seen that. They usually, when they chase each other, they usually end up in the bushes or something. But for some reason, he caught her in the middle of the parking lot, and he gave her 3 seconds. He gave her the craziest 3 seconds I ever seen. I'm like, what? Thanks, Amy. I knew you would let me know that I seen some nasty shit. They supposed to go in the bushes. They normally go in the bushes, Lauren. That's what they know. Because, see, I didn't know that's what they be doing. I just be seeing them chase each other, right? I be seeing the big roosters chase the chicken, but they always end up in the bushes. So I thought they'd be fighting in the bushes. But this is the only time where I seen them chase, and somehow they ended up in the middle of the parking lot. And he just said, fuck it, right here then. 1, 2, 3, gone. I said, damn, they just take it like that? Dang. I said, so the chicken just decide that he wanted and he just go take it. And she be running. And I'm thinking, if she running, that means, oh, that's foreplay. Now I wonder, hey, look, I know I always see all the little chickens. Hey, look, I wonder why I used to see all the little chickens, where they be coming from. It's like they got a new family every day. I watch so many chickens grow up. I don't watch, y'all know how many chickens I have watched grow up? I watch them be born. So I know it'd be a lot going on. Yeah, that scarred me. But thank you, Amy. I knew when I saw it, I said, I don't even want to chat GPT. I want Amy GPT. I didn't want to Google it. I didn't want to do none of that. I wanted a human answer. And damn, Amy. Thanks, Amy, for letting me know that my eyes are scarred. Oh, that's what they be doing? I thought they'd be trying to like stretch and I thought they'd be trying to like stretch their wings and get a little fresh air. I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, Amy, now I'm about to be looking at these chickens a whole. I'm actually gonna be knowing what's going on now, and I'm about to go watch it. Matter of fact, after this show, I'm going back to the porch. I'm going back to the porch now. Now that Amy done broke down what the hell going on, because I always wondered that too. I'm like, what do they be doing when they just stop and start flapping their wings and sticking their chest out? Amy said they showing their titties. Mm-mm-mm. Now these chickens just went from being all innocent. These chickens be having freak offs. So now Amy just let me know that the chickens be having freak offs in the parking lot. I'm thinking they fighting. Mm-mm-mm. Oh well. I'll be back on the porch. Now I'm gonna tell you. Now I'm gonna let you know really what's going on, because now that Amy done gave me a few context clues, now I can really study the dynamic. Because that's what I do. I really look at the animals and just look at how they live and move and how they, like I said, they're so much the same as us. It's just that they don't communicate in English, but they do the same things. Like when I put seeds out there, it's like the big rooster be kicking everybody ass except for his little family. He won't let nobody. You put food out there, they get to fighting, kind of like in the world where money is, like, say, poverty. When money is scarce and people are robbing and stealing and killing because it's no money or it's just no resources. That's kind of how it is outside. It ain't. I guess they don't have a lot of food to choose from. So when I throw like some sunflower seeds out there, all hell breaks loose. Chickens be kicking ass. Chickens be having to leave because they can't be around when the seeds get dropped. I said, that is just like humans. Like, if resources are scarce, the minute we see some resources, the biggest, baddest MFers is the only ones that get to eat. The little puny ones, they get to get their ass kicked, and they better get away. Or it be the chicken be looking at him like, if you put your mouth on and one of them sunflower seeds, I'm wearing your ass out. I was telling my best friend this story. He was cracking up. Yeah, he is worship. He is. He don't have to do nothing. Amy is the rooster that be getting it in. And like Amy said in his comment, I don't even think he do no work. He just stand there. He stands about 10 feet away from all the women and the little chicks or whatever. And then it's like, all of a sudden, it's like his brain says, I'm ready to have some sex. And then he'll look over and say it's like 6 chickens over there. He'll start, he picks out one with his eyes, and he just darts and starts chasing that one, and all of them run. But then he zeroes in on one, and then, like Amy said, he finally catch her, and then he give her 3 seconds of that neighbor's knocking. I bet he give her 3 seconds of that neighbors know my name. But let me get back to this news, Mini Me. Let me catch up with Mini Me while I'm waiting on this. Let me get it back up here, Mini Me, because Mini Me giving us some good news. Enough about the chickens, but now, hey, look, now I'm gonna be on that porch. I'm gonna be watching, and I'm gonna know when they showing their titties, when they fucking, and anything else I start seeing them do, I'm gonna make sure I bring it to y'all. And Amy, let me know, because it's other little things they do that I can't think of it right now. But when I go to the porch, I'm gonna ask you what they doing here, because I kind of figured it out. But anyway, former talk show host Wendy Williams has secured high-profile attorney Joe Tacopina to represent her in her ongoing guardianship battle. Oh, that is great news. Mini Me, thank you for sharing that. That boy Tacopina is the truth. And he about to get Wendy out of that mess. And she might be able to countersue. Thank you for that news, Mini Me. That's great news. And I probably will make a video about that. So see me on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. Thanks for that one, Mini Me. Let me go to the next one. I'm going to go to Lauren. Lauren, that 3 seconds, that's what I'm saying. Hey, look, when you see somebody go crazy for 3 seconds, you be like, damn. You know, hey, look, if you're going to do 3 seconds, the chicken show you how you can do 3 seconds. I was like, I don't think she was ready for 4 seconds. Shit. Hey, look, 4 seconds, we might have been taking her to the little chicken hospital. If it was another second. Mini Me, former talk show host Wendy Williams has to. Oh, I already read that. My bad. I already saw that. My bad, Mini Me. Let me go down to the new one. Fake New York City doctor. Fake New York City doctor leaves woman brain dead following failed attempt to remove butt implants. Wow. You can feed them almost anything. Yeah, I be feeding them. He do some work, all right. Hey, look, C-Tuck said he do some work, all right. Yeah, the big male that's swinging a big stick, he don't have to do shit but have sex. I be like, when I see like the little chickens, the baby chickens, and the mom be clearing out an area, the mom be feeding them, the mom be walking them, and the rooster with the that swinging the stick, he just be standing there about 10 to 15 feet away and just standing there profiling. I've asked my best friend, like, what the hell do the male chickens do? They don't do shit but just style and profile and fuck. That's all they do. They got it good. He be sweating out. I'll be like, man. But then I was like, and you know what's crazy? Y'all know I'll be candid with y'all. I know it's animals, but you know, covering this Diddy trial and all of that, and with all this freakiness going on, it made me look at it. I was looking at it like, damn. So the female chicken, she don't have no choice. He just decide, you know what? I want your ass. 1, 2, 3, gone. It's like that 3 seconds is quicker than a WWE when they be like 1, 2, 3. It ain't even that long. According to Mini-Me, the state of Mississippi just eliminated state income tax. Governor Tate Reeves signed it into law, hoping to attract more talent, jobs, and families. Come on, Mini-Me. I know they roosters. I just like saying male chickens because you gotta remember, Amy, 80% of us, or a good portion of us, are not animal experts. And if I say roosters, it's a large amount of people that don't know that roosters are male chickens. I'm gonna be honest with you, Amy. So when I speak, I have to make sure I'm speaking for everybody so everybody can understand. Just like I didn't know they were fucking. We don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know nothing about chickens, don't know nothing about animal life. So when I speak, I definitely have to make sure I say things in a way that everybody understands. I know, Amy, it's crazy. You a farmer. It's true. What you expect? You a farmer. You it's supposed to be crazy to you. But I get it. That's like if I asked you if you was 150 yards away and you was if you was 100 yards away on a golf course, what club would you use? Amy, if you was 100 yards away from the pin, what club would you use? And why? I need your answer quick, Amy. I'm only talking to Amy. If you on the golf course, you're 100 yards away, which club would you use and why? It's crickets. Yep, I definitely see Paul. Okay, thank you. Hey, look, and that's crazy to me, Amy. That's crazy to me. Because see, I'm an ex-collegiate golfer. So I would use a gap wedge, which my gap wedge travels about 100 yards. That would put me within 8 feet of the pin, and I probably would be putting for birdie. So it's like crazy to me that you would get on a golf course and get a drink. But I'm a golfer. So that's how that goes. But yeah, hey, look, I do live next to Foghorn Leghorn. See, Tuck? I was like, so this is what Foghorn Leghorn used to be doing. Hey, I love it though, because I love animals. I really like aquatic life is my favorite, I guess because I'm a Pisces, but I like whales and sharks and all of that type of stuff. But I just like looking at nature and studying and looking at animals in general. Like I just like to see why they do what they do and how they move, and it's just cool to just study them. Mini Me, according to Mini Me, a judge in New York City, has denied a motion from Universal Music Group to delay discovery in the defamation lawsuit brought against the label by Drake. Also, another ruling they made is that they have determined that Not Like Us was not enhanced by bots. It was an organic hit, meaning Not Like Us destroyed Drake without help of any bots. So thanks, Mini Me, for that update. And it also gave me a reason to add that update because I saw that last night. That was a big talk yesterday. Everybody was talking about the Drake UMG situation. Oh yeah, definitely. Um, you definitely can learn a lot from animals. You definitely do. I agree with that so much, Amy. That's why I watch them. You can learn a lot from animals. Oh yeah, Lauren. 4 seconds. When you see them 3 seconds, you be like, "Oh shit!" That hey, look, 4 seconds, and it's gonna be problems. But damn, I okay. There we go. We ready to go, y'all. So we got Apple and Spotify just processed. So let's get it. Let's let me get this loaded or get it uploaded. Give me 2 seconds. Stuff is moving pretty good today, which I'm feeling good. You know, we've been having problems with the internet and so on and so forth, but today it's been pretty cool. I'm glad to get this episode uploaded quickly and efficiently. Publish. Boom. So Apple and Spotify is loaded, y'all. ASAP Rocky Lawyer, yup, is gonna be handling Wendy Williams. That's gonna be great news. Yeah, they just give up. Amy, you call it to the T. Wow. So Amy said bulls are like roosters. Um, bulls are like roosters that they walk around and mate all day. Yeah, that's what the roosters do. I did not know. I did not know Foghorn Leghorn was doing all that fucking. Mini Me say, love you too, Lauren. Thank you for all the prayers. Prayers to Mini Me. Definitely feel bad for the hens. Definitely feel bad for the hens. But yeah, y'all, I like to watch animals. You can learn, like Amy said, you can learn a lot from animals, just how they move and like they take care of their family. Like the hens, female chickens, or whatever you want to call them, they be working all day long when it comes to them to their kids. They cleaning up, they like be cleaning out little areas, digging holes, feeding the little chicks and the little baby chicks, and then walking around and making sure that they all stay together. And the roosters or male chickens, whatever, they just wait, post up, and when they and every couple minutes they get to chasing somebody and doing their little 3 second thing. That's wild. That's wild. Hey, Lauren said that's wild. Yeah, y'all, I'm seeing it front and center. And now that Amy done gave me a little extra knowledge, I'm about to really be watching. I'm starting to know everything that they do. I'm starting to like realize because so much of communication is nonverbal anyway. And so when you look at them, or when I'm looking at the chickens and looking at the animals, you can it's almost like watching people, like, because you can tell like kind of what they're doing and why they're doing it, and when they get upset at somebody, or when they're protecting they, it's funny. It's just like watching humans. And so you can learn a lot by watching animals, and that's why I do it. I love watching animals. I love nature in general, which is why they say when you're an introvert, you ain't never bored. They so right about that. When you are primarily an introvert, you ain't never bored, because you always studying shit and look like I'm never bored. And I don't have to be running around all over the place, going out and all of that. I'm just never bored because I like watching animals. I like watching nature. I like watching regular shit. It's interesting to me. Yep. Amy hitting the nail right on the head, because you can see that the animals, who are just merely animals, do a lot of the same stuff we do. And it does let you know why we have certain instincts, what certain instincts mean. Like I said, going back to when resources are low and you get a lot of fighting and robbing and stealing in the world, that's kind of like with the chickens. Like when the food is scarce and I throw out sunflower seeds or whatever, man, they be eating them. And then when like a couple of the smaller roosters or whoever ain't supposed to be eating, they will kick their ass and make sure they let them know you can't eat none of this. This is our shit. And it gets real wild. And I'm like, damn. When I threw those sunflower seeds, it caused pure chaos. It was almost like Black Friday. It was like Black Friday, and like back in the day, and them sunflower seeds was like that 70-inch flat screen that they were selling for $99 on Black Friday, and everybody started kicking everybody's ass trying to get it, and just pure pandemonium. That's the same shit that animals do when it's something valuable and ain't enough to go around. They fight and go crazy. So yeah, like Amy said, you learn a lot about yourself and just humans in general by watching animals, who are just animals who are basically living off instinct. We have instinct, but we have the ability to think and do all type of other shit. But they literally are just moving on instinct, and I learned a lot from that. Friday After Next show was, Lauren, thank you. I couldn't remember, but as a class, I knew it was a classic, but I couldn't remember. But yeah, it was Friday After Next. Food so good, it make you want to smack your mama. I've been so scared of my mama, I ain't even like watching that part when I was with her. I think, Mom, I ain't gonna smack my mama. But yeah, you're right, Lauren. It sure was Friday After Next. When he had them tins, but he said he keep them clean. He had those tins on his car, but he keep them clean. Hey, that was classic, wasn't it? You don't know Baby D. You don't know Baby D. The new Baby D be talking about the new Twinkie coming out. It's a bad motherfucker. When you be biting into it, that's my movie. Yeah, that's my movie. Well, I know Friday After Next is what Kate would. I always get them confused, but the Friday period. I didn't need to know the exact one. We know the one with Cat Williams and what's his name? What's the Black Cock Diesel dude? What's the Black Hawk Diesel dude? That was in Friday After Next, I believe, with Cat Williams, Terry Crews. Yeah, the donut shop. Hey, yeah, Terry Crews, right? But yeah, that was a funny. That was funny. Did Mini Me leave? Hey, did Mini Me leave? Damon was Terry Crews, right? Yeah, Damon. Okay, I know I can always count on y'all to get me straight. I gotta figure out this camera though. I mean, it's something minor, but I didn't want to be super late. It was already like a couple minutes after, so I was like, forget it. But it's something. I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking happened? I'm thinking my laptop did some little update overnight, which I hate when these devices update on their own. But I think it might have updated, and now I think now I got to give my StreamYard access to my laptop camera or something like that. I think that's what it is. So I'll figure it out once we get off today. But yeah, that's what happened. I think my laptop updated overnight or something. And so I gotta change the permissions around or something. That shit pissed me off. That's why I don't touch nothing. I leave everything exactly how it is. So all I gotta do is press record. So that's how I know I ain't do nothing because I ain't touched nothing since yesterday. I pressed record and it started tripping. So I'll figure it out after the show. Okay, so let's do this, y'all. Let's focus for a second. Mona Sisters needs a lot of prayers and is struggling. So I need everybody in the chat, everybody who watching who might not be in the chat. Let's give some prayers to Mona and her sister and their family. Apparently, it's that she's struggling, and some prayers will really help. So, everybody, if you're listening, Facebook, or even if you watch this later, send some prayers to Mini Me, aka Mona, and her sister, and let's help them get through it because we know she's gonna be all right, but we need the prayers because we know it's gonna work out in the end. But prayers always help. So thank you for bringing that to the attention of the chat, Lauren. And as always, Mona and her sister, we praying for y'all. Lauren says she's in a lot of pain and no answers after a month in the hospital, and her spirits are down. I know that's got to be. I know that has to be terrible. That's messed up, but we are definitely got your back here at the Flow Show, No Filter, and the community and everybody on the breakfast crew. You know we got your back, and we will bring awareness and prayers and whatever else we can. Oh yeah, I would love to, but see, I've always popped up. Like there was a lady in Cleveland when I lived in Cleveland. Her name was Kim. She has a farm, and a couple times I went out to her farm. She was a title. I used to do. Y'all know I got a real estate. I used to invest a lot in real estate, and she owned a title company and was real close to my family and all of that for years. But anyway, she had a big farm. She has a big farm, and every year she would have like a special event for all of her clients and customers that used her title company. So I would go out there, and she had like I think like llamas and horses and uh what else did she have? Yeah, all kind of animals out there. I don't know. She just had most animals that you see at a farm. She had them, and the farm's so big. She had a golf cart. You had to ride a golf cart around. So I always got a chance to see like the animals and feed them. but that was only once a year. So it's not like I'm no expert. I only went, what, 2 or 3 times. I've only been on an actual farm probably two or 3 times in my life. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind visiting some, like going to see farms. I like that shit. I like seeing animals and shit like that. Oh man, Jennifer been hustling and busting, y'all. She missed the whole show, except she did catch the freaky chicken chat, which that's cool. She said, "Love y'all. Great weekend to everyone." Yeah, great weekend to you too, Jennifer. Appreciate everything you do, Jennifer. Jennifer be controlling and keeping the flow army Facebook group. She keeps it on organized and structured and on task. And so I appreciate that. Matter of fact, if you're not in my Facebook and I don't like it group, join today. It goes down in the group. We talking about the tour and everything. Yeah, I'll be. Hey, look, yeah, I'll be. I think is it the llamas, like the brown furry kind of big animal. Are they called llamas? I think they like brown or reddish. She got like a couple of those too. I forgot what they're called, but I think they're supposed. I think they're expensive animals. They're pretty nice too. Oh, I think is it a llama or alpaca? Llama. It's the llama. Llama. Not alpaca. It's a llama. Yep. So she had like a few llamas too. But I like it. I'm into that type of shit. Yeah, they spit. Yep. And see that's the thing why I didn't stay. That's why I didn't get. I wasn't around them that long because they do spit, and I didn't want to get spit on. But other than spitting, they seem like they're pretty cool. Wow, I didn't see that. See, that's the thing. I think more people should be around animals more. You'll learn a lot if you be around animals because I didn't know goats pissed on each other. I wonder where that came from. Just like Willie. Yeah, Willie. Willie got pissed on in the comments. Y'all pissed on Willie in the comments, man. Willie, I haven't seen Willie. What y'all do to Willie? I haven't seen Willie since y'all destroyed him in the comment section. I haven't seen him on Facebook. I haven't seen him anywhere. I told y'all blasted Willie to no man's land. R. Kelly, GOAT. R. Kelly, the GOAT. But when we say GOAT, we talking about the GOAT, the animal, the farming GOAT. Told his ass definitely to kick rocks with no socks, Michelle. Michelle, you ain't getting your hair done today? Or that next Friday? Oh, Lauren got his. Oh, okay. So you getting your hair done right now? So Michelle, you getting your hair done right now? Hey Lauren, hey Willie, hey Lauren. They said Lauren reported all of Willie. Hey Willie, hey Lauren reported. Lauren reported every post he made in the last 2 months and reported his profile. He was stalking Jen and being creepy and racist. Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, Willie didn't last long. Hey, let's pour out. Hey, this weekend, pour out a little liquor for Willie, man. He was a good Willie. He was the most Willie I ever willied. You know, you can't say much. That's how you talk about somebody when you doing a funeral and you know they really was a piece of shit. You just got to say anything. You know, Willie was one of the best Willies I've ever known. Like out of all the Willies, he was like top 3. And I only knew 3 Willies in my life. And that Willie, he was damn sure number 3. So let's pour out a little liquor for the great GOAT Willie. He was the best Willie that you could ever Willie. And that's how they be when they gotta read the obituary or say something good about somebody who passed, who really was like a piece of shit their whole life and just did everybody wrong. You got to come up there and kind of make up some good stuff about them. He sure did. Lauren said Willie lasted less time than Foghorn Leghorn out there. Okay, there you go. Y'all know where Michelle at. Tell everybody in the salon we said what's up. Tell everybody in the salon we said what's up, Michelle. So the Flow Show No Filter says hello. Oh, Tigers opening day today. Oh, I know you was in some traffic. You know, Detroit love they Detroit Tigers. Shout out to the Detroit Tigers. Baseball is gearing up. Oh, they listening? Oh, my bad. Okay, well, tell them I said, well, thanks for listening. I ain't gotta tell Michelle. Y'all can hear me. Thanks for listening to the show. It's no filter, so if you hear something crazy, that's by design. But yeah, y'all. So today the chickens, for the first time, somebody stole the show from Diddy. The chickens was the star of today's show. Oh, that chicken was wearing. Hey, look, that's the 3-second assassin. I'm gonna nickname that chicken the 3-second assassin. It take him long to chase. I guess that's in real life too, huh? The chase lasts way longer than the result. He chased the chicken for about 60 seconds, and then they do the do for 3 seconds. And then he just walk away. Yep, my Guardians. I can never get used to that name, but yeah, the Guardians. I still want to call us the Indians, but we the Guardians. But yeah, thanks for that. See, Tuck, you going to the game? You gonna go to the game, or is it away? Is it a away game or a home game? Shauna 7 years long. Man, that's crazy how them chickens just take it like that. Wow, to be an animal is a wild place. Oh, they're gonna be in Cali? Okay. Oh yeah, that's why it's at 9 o'clock. Duh. I should have knew that. See, Tuck, that's how you know I've been gone from Cleveland for a while. You know, a 9:30 game is, of course, is in Cali because what is it, 6:30, really? But yeah, man. Shout out to them Guardians. Shout out to the Tigers. We're gonna have a good baseball season this year. I hope everybody having a good weekend. Before we get out of here, what y'all got planned for the weekend? I am going to be chilling, and I got to work on the merch store. I got to work on some things with the merch website this weekend, and pretty much relax. I made a lot of content this week between, of course, the show and social media. So I'm about to fucking rest this weekend. Oh wow. I know how it be. Rest, rest, rest. Amy said she's still a Braves girl. Okay, y'all. Prayers up before we get out of here. Lauren has an interview today for a much better job and opportunity. Prayers up for Lauren. You will be getting that job. Uh, and so on that note, that's a good note to get up out of here. Lauren, make sure y'all pray for Lauren that she get that job opportunity. You got this, Lauren. And I said by Amy. Amy said it best. You got this, Lauren. And Jennifer always hit it right on point. It's time for them I'm outs. Let's get the I'm outs in the chat so we can get the hell out of here and enjoy our weekends, kiddos. Happy Friday. Make sure y'all comment after the live. Some of y'all ain't commenting after the live, and it's really upsetting, and it makes me sad. Lauren always does it. Jennifer does, and so does Mini Me. I think Michelle also does it. I don't know about the rest of y'all. So when this live closes, if y'all can do me a favor, it's free. It don't cost no money. When the live closes, come back to the live and leave some comments under the live to help with the algorithm. I appreciate it, y'all. C Tuck, Lauren, Kobe, Amy, Michelle, Mini Me, Jennifer, and the rest of the gang. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And for the second time, I'm out.